We are live for another episode of a green, white, checkered podcast here at little past 6:30. We are live from Martinsville, not super speedway, Martinsville short track. We got a race tonight for Monday Night Lightning. It's going to be, I would say it's going to be fun, but DP, I don't think it will be.
Yeah, it's going to be short, flat racing. This is going to be a, get in the groove rhythm type of track. And so it's going to be fun. Not a lot of fast repairs either. So as many laps as I can get into the race, it's going to be good for me. If I get 100 laps in, I'll be happy with that.
Same. Yeah, if I can get 25 laps in, actually, I'll be impressed with myself. So we only have one fast repair. So, yeah, it's going to be really rough. So first thing we're going to do is hit on the Leading Edge Pro Series. They ran at Talladega last week they were actually in the Xfinity cars. So they will be back again this Wednesday night. They'll actually be at Darlington, I believe. But they will be in the trucks. So a little bit different. Me, you, DP, and Rick James called that Talladega race, and man, they really put on a show that was fun to watch, and hopefully they'll put on a good show in the trucks as well.
A very interesting rules package as well. We saw a lot of outside line driving, which is a lot different than what you're used to seeing. So props to those guys. Those guys are definitely pros. That is a great race. If you haven't watched, make sure you join us.
Absolutely. And before we move into our results for the past week, we got a couple of our good buddies here, SKD and Stitch. They're going to just give us a little overview of an ARCS event that we have coming up. It will be the 500 miles at Indianapolis on iRacing. SKD, go ahead. You got the floor, buddy. We'll let you kind of talk about it and throw it to Stitch if he has anything to add as well.
Absolutely, my friend. Glad to be here with you guys. So for the second time, we are going to venture outside of Cup racing and go into Indy cars. We will be trying to mimic exactly like what it would be like at a real Indianapolis 500, one of those iconic IndyCar races there is. And we're doing the full 200 laps, minimal fast repairs. It'll definitely be an exciting thing to have guys that are normal Cup drivers jump into these Indy cars and race with us along with some other guys. So it'll be a fun, exciting moment for us in the Alliance Racing Championship Series. So I'm excited that you guys have given us the leeway to throw this event. And I know Alex would like to, go over some of the more technical specifications of how the race will be run. Alex?
Yeah, throw me under the bus for that one. That's cool.
Of course.
No, you know what? I mean, obviously, you and I both kind of got into ARCS thanks to Rick, and we're venturing into different things, and obviously we're IndyCar guys, so we wanted to kind of do something a little bit different. And so far for our practice sessions, we've had decent turnout, and some of the guys are struggling a little bit with the cars, but they're getting it down. Hopefully, this is going to be something that we can utilize to fast forward into getting into an IndyCar season, hopefully next year. But as far as this race goes, I mean, we're just doing a fixed setup. If people are listening, are interested in jumping into this, by all means, contact one of us via Discord or whatever, and we can get you into some practices and stuff. I mean, we kind of want to expand the family here, and obviously, as we know, over the last couple of weeks here, we're a huge family organization here. We're not just doing this just for fun. We want to, we basically we gain brothers and sisters here, and we look forward to doing stuff with people. So it's just as far as this race goes, like I said, we're trying to make it as simplistic as possible for people to get into that have never really run an IndyCar before. Me and SK are very, very much into helping you guys out and getting them going and be competitive and everything. I mean, there isn't too much that SK didn't say already. I mean, we're trying to mimic as close to the real thing as possible here, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Tempers will flare maybe a little bit during the race, but that's racing, right?
Absolutely. But one last thing I would like to kind of touch base on is, Rick James is putting on a paint competition for the guys that design their own paints. That's going to win $20 in iRacing dollars, and a few of us are going to get together and throw in a cash pot for the winners and the podium finishers. So it's definitely going to be an exciting race for, of course, our fans to watch and our fellow ARCS members to watch and compete in. So I couldn't be more excited to promote and be a part of this, as well as everything else that I've accomplished and been a part of in this ARCS family of ours, Ryan.
Yeah, it should be a great race. Me personally, I don't even need to come close to an IndyCar, so I am staying as far away as possible. I will help with maybe some race control or some commentating duties with Rick James, but I do not belong in an IndyCar. But we're glad we have SK and Stitch to help us and help our other members. So looking forward to that, DP. It's going to be a good race. We'll keep you all informed as our podcasts get closer and closer to that date. Of course, we'll remind y'all of when it gets closer. But DP, it should be a really good race. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be really cool to see that.
Yeah, definitely something that our drivers aren't going to be totally used to. But of course, practice. And it sounds like, these guys have already been putting on practices for this race. And so there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of preparation that's going into this already. I'm already excited for it. A little bit of time left until that happens. But yeah, stay in touch and keep us informed of what and when that's going to be going on. I'm sure the fans want to tune in for that.
Absolutely. All right, we'll move on to some of your race results this week. This was the first week that we were back kind of full swing in ARCS. So, of course, we had Tuesday night. The trucks went to Martinsville, and Croydon basically dominated most of the race, but unfortunately just could not quite get the win that he was looking for. DP's Dowdy 201. He's one of your drivers over there in the Stuart Haas camp. He gets him another one, man.
Yeah, Dowdy's super fast, but Croydon making it easy for him. Dominated, as you can see, took the pole, stage 1 winner, stage 2 winner. But at the end, right at the very end, 10 or 12 laps to go, spun the truck out, had an issue, and Dowdy comes home the winner. But what was very fortunate for Dowdy was caused by some very unfortunate circumstances for Croydon.
Yeah, we know Martinsville is a tough track. It is for me anyway. Some of the guys seem to think that it's just a piece of cake, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it somehow. But Croydon came back Friday night. Unfortunately, I had to miss out on that one, but he must have been angry about what happened on Tuesday night, because that dude won the pole, won stage 1, won stage 2, and won the race. And didn't look like there was much competition at all in that race. DP, I know you were kind of involved. You were in that race, so just tell us a little bit. Obviously, Croydon just walked off and left the field.
Yeah, and we talk about the trucks. I say it all the time that the truck series is the most exciting race of the week. The Xfinity series, though, that must be the cleanest race of the week. Not a huge field. Those guys ran the complete race with the stages, but with no additional cautions. So those guys did a great job. Croydon, once again, a dominant car, wins that race.
Yeah, we know he's fast just about everywhere, but He's gotten a lot better even at Martinsville. He, has struggled before in the past, but man, he did not struggle this week at all. So we'll jump into TNT. They were supposed to run Charlotte this week, DP, but we decided with some personal things going on with a few of our members. If y'all did watch Sunday night's race, we put a 3-wide salute on for our buddy Term, COT Tommy. We know Bellamy and Mayo all, have struggled with losing someone close to them this year. So DP, you and Tommy and myself, and with Lurkin's help, decided it was probably best this week to just postpone TNT. So they will be at Charlotte I say next week. It's already Monday, so this Thursday. So basically everything will just get pushed back a week, I'm assuming. But we'll let you tell the fans kind of what the plan is on the TNT side of things.
Yeah, always a tough call when you got to postpone or cancel races. This was something that, we felt like was the right thing to do. And so we did not race last Thursday night. We will run Charlotte 300 miles at Charlotte, no stages this Thursday night. There will be some conversation among us, Ryan, about what we do towards the end of the season. If we're going to, either run a double header to catch that up, or maybe just kind of lengthen the schedule at the end of the season 1 week longer. Like I said, those things aren't important. What was important was that there was no way we should have been racing Thursday night. So we decided to not do that, and we will run it this Thursday.
Yeah, that sounds great. And, like you said, we'll make sure we keep everyone updated on what the decision is, whether we do run a doubleheader or push everything back 1 week, or, maybe even take a track out. It's not a fan or driver favorite, but we'll keep everyone updated and involved.
Oh, darn, Ryan. We already ran New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know. We already ran. Let's see. Is Martinsville's on y'all's schedule? Because we need to take that one off.
No, sir. I don't think so.
Oh, man. Y'all did well then in putting your schedule together.
Yes, sir.
But we will. We'll definitely keep everyone up to date on what the plans are for TNT. And we'll move into A Squared. Also running Martinsville this week. Actually, last night, our good buddy SKD and Kinsey helped call that race. And I actually watched a little bit of that this morning. And, man, I tell you, DP, SKD has gotten really good with his graphic skills. I am super impressed. And Kinsey did a really good job. That's the first time she's ever called a race, and she sounded like a natural. So it's cool that we can train new people, get them involved, not just in racing, but in, broadcasting and in the graphics of broadcasting. It's just really neat to have this many people that want to be involved and help out.
A very important side of racing is all the people outside of the race that it takes, to put those things on. A ton of work that goes into it. And yeah, shout out to SK. Those broadcasts are beginning to be really good. Kinsey's adding a whole different dynamic to the race. So it's great to see her in the booth. They're doing a really good job. I think that, it's kind of cool. We're running 5-6 races a week, Ryan. Most of those races are being broadcast on Twitch, some of them even on YouTube and Facebook. And so just moving on up, and it's really exciting to see ARCS grow the way that it is continuing to grow.
Yeah, speaking of that, this is actually the first Green White Checkered podcast that we have done from ARCS Racing Networks, which is our new, basically our own dedicated racing network to all things ARCS, including racing podcasts, just a little bit of everything. So we all now have access to this account. So anytime you see racing, you don't have to wonder whose account it's on or who's streaming it or who's sharing it. It'll always be on this link or on this Twitch. And anytime that I am streaming from my Streamlabs, it also goes directly to Facebook and YouTube live. So we're actually live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook right now. So really helps get the viewage up, as Quiet would say. Gotta pay attention to the viewage. So it really helps with that. But back to A Squared. Seth Dubb took the pole. Moldy Muskrat actually won Heat 1. E-Dog won Heat 2. And DP, I think the biggest surprise to me was Richie C. USA. He won Stage 1, won Stage 2, and man, he was there at the end, just couldn't quite get it. He'd come up just a little bit short, but I was so impressed with that one car, man. He was flying around Martinsville.
I may have lost you, buddy.
You still got me?
Oh, there we go. I don't
Okay.
know. I think I had a thing with my headphones. I'm sorry.
You're good. I was just telling everyone that I was so impressed with that one car at Martinsville last night. Richie C, always fast, but man, he was on a rail and took home Stage 1 and Stage 2. Just fell a little bit short, but man, he was fast.
No doubt. And, no shock to see Seth on the pole or see a guy like Moldy or E-Dog win the heats. Of course, those guys are super fast. Richie C, one of those guys that's really, really fast, especially when we talk about intermediate tracks, those super speedway tracks. He is so hooked up on that yellow line. But we came to Martinsville, and he was dominant for the first part of that race. So dominant that he put a number of cars a lap down. There was one point where he had just put me a lap down and the caution came out just in the nick of time. And so, yeah, Richie C, not only was he super fast, he changed the dynamic of that race last night, made things really interesting for drivers trying to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times I have to say it. You probably heard me in last night's broadcast when I was talking to SK and Kinsey. I hate Martinsville. I hate Martinsville. I hate Martinsville. No. So I think I ended up finishing 14th. I think I was at like 2 or 3 laps down. I don't know. At one point, I just completely quit counting. There's no use in even keeping up with it. So my goal tonight in Monday Night Lightning, stay 5 laps down, top 20. I'll be happy. So speaking of Monday Night Lightning, that is where we are live from Martinsville. You can see the darkness behind the ARCS Monday Night Lightning logo. That's right, we are running the night race just like they were supposed to this weekend. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. But good thing about these simulations, DP, there's no rain, so we're going to be racing at night.
Yeah, no rain on iRacing, and that is good news for us oval drivers. We are definitely going to race. We're going to begin qualifying at 8 o'clock, and that's just a little bit over an hour from now. And so a lot of stuff to do between now and then, Ryan. I'm getting excited and pumped up for it.
Yeah, me too. I definitely, I'm going to have my mouse sitting on that session when it loads at 7:30 because I need every second of that 30 minutes of practice. And then, of course, we'll all get qualifying and then go into the race shortly after 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can find that on Rebels Racing Network. They stream on YouTube live as well. So go check them out. Check out our race. Look for the 12 and the 4. Just follow the smoke, and you'll probably find me, is all I can say. But we know that there's a lot of fast guys, and someone that I'm watching, DP, is got to be Donald Ray, a.k.a. Jacket. He has been fast all weekend in these practices, and we still have yet to have one of our, what we call OG Heat 5 guys take home a victory in this Monday Night Lightning iRacing series. So I think Jacket might have a good shot at it, and we'll just have to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, this race is going to be a little bit different, I think, than a lot of the races that we've seen. We're going to get one fast repair, which means this might go to not just the fastest guy, but this may go to the fastest guy who has a car at the end of the race. And so it's going to be interesting. You know how it is, Ryan, when you are fast and you can get around a guy. you tend to take the chance to try to get around him. And so that could cause issues with some of these drivers trying to make passes, taking their eye off the ball just a little bit and messing up their entire race in an instant.
Yeah, one fast repair for 250 laps. That is, that's not very many for those of you that can't count quiet. One fast repair, I mean, like you said, I mean, if you use that up in your first 30, 40 laps, you are in a rough spot for the rest of the race. So should be fun. Hopefully everybody will show some patience. You can see we got several cars on the track back behind us here, already practicing, trying to get those cars dialed in for tonight's race. So we will go ahead and move on to basically this week, what we have upcoming. Obviously tonight we have Monday Night Lightning from Martinsville. Then tomorrow night the trucks will return. They will be at Richmond Speedway, up also in Richmond, Virginia. So pretty, I wouldn't say close, but it's in the same state anyway. Then of course DP, TNT will have Charlotte Thursday night. Xfinity cars will be at Richmond Friday night. A Squared will be at Richmond Sunday night, along with our truck series on iRacing. We are still kind of, that one's usually ran dark just because there's a few of us in there, including myself, that probably should not be streamed because we don't know how to keep the truck going in the right direction. But we do have that available. So if you are in ARCs and you're looking to get into iRacing, definitely let myself, Tommy, DP, and of course our iRacing admins, Cody and Elliot, make sure that they know that you're interested, and we will get you in one of those trucks. And then of course Monday Night Lightning next a week from now will be at Richmond as well. So a lot of good racing this week, DP. Most of it from Richmond, but we do have the one from Charlotte. So another weekend of short track racing, and then 300 miles at Charlotte. So it's going to be a great week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great week. Ready for Charlotte, 300 miles. That's going to be a fun race. I always look forward to that one that I will circle, and one that I'm going to beat in TNT because it's getting intense over there. Otherwise, check out the ARCS family of broadcasters to make sure you do not miss one of these races. All kinds of action. The trucks and the Xfinity series, Ryan, are in the playoffs right now, and so that's making things really, really interesting and starting to tighten up towards the end of those seasons. So make sure that you do not miss any of this action that ARCS has to offer.
Yeah, and both of those races can be found on this channel as well, on Twitch, twitch.tv/ARCS Racing Networks. And on YouTube, you can search ARCS Racing Network and search the same thing on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. It's a lot easier, especially for some of our drivers, and some of their family members. A lot of people don't have Twitch or don't want to create an account. So really cool to have it on Facebook, where it's a little bit more easily accessible for some of our fans to watch. So that's really cool. So we did not get any really good meme of the weeks this week. So I just left the ones from a few weeks ago. I mean, the quiet sitting there in the chair asking once again to clear his black flags. And then of course he's getting his stimulus check, and it's for essential things, DP, but he just can't handle himself, and he goes ahead and buys another monitor. It's just, we love Quiet. He's actually out there right now practicing. I've seen him hit the wall, I think 4 or 5 times. So I'm going to make sure I stay away from the 3 car now, as he had his number, we'll say, stolen from him by our good buddy Lurkin, who is now in the 19. There you saw the 3 car go by on the screen. He's still going in the right direction there. So, well, that just about does it, DP. We got a lot of racing this week. We covered a lot this week. Oh, I did forget one thing. We got to talk about NASCAR in real life this week. So obviously I did not watch a lot of the Xfinity race, but Josh Berry took home the victory there. And then, of course, on the Cup side, Martin Truex Jr. Gets another win at Martinsville. That he is just super fast there at Martinsville. But DP, what did you think about the races? Like I said, I know Josh Berry. That is such a cool deal, driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And finally getting that win. It's got to be a huge chip off his shoulder.
Yeah, Junior's real high on this guy, and he drove, I believe, his late model a couple years ago, and Junior really liked Josh Berry, and so it's good to see him in the Xfinity Series. I think he's the next big thing. I think you got a lot of guys coming up. I told you before the show, Ryan, guys like Josh Berry, guys like Ty Gibbs. Those boys are interested in making a big impact in this sport. Of course, Martin Truex Jr., you had to see it coming. Maybe some of these guys were not thinking it was going to happen, but that guy's super clean, keeps himself out of trouble, found his way at the end. Martin Truex Jr. gets another win. He's going to be the first two-time winner in the Cup Series this season.
Absolutely, and I'm still very upset at the 12 car. He was doing so well, and he just blew it on pit road. So I'm going to have a word with Ryan Blaney, and we're going to have to step it up a little bit. But please do not think that the 12 car tonight will be anywhere close to the speed that 12 had on Sunday at Martinsville, because it's not gonna happen. So that just about does it, DP. You got anything to add before we close out this podcast here tonight?
Nope. Really excited for tonight's race. A lot of laps, a really short track, a lot of drivers. Somebody's going to come out on top. If you didn't plan on watching it, make sure that you plan on watching it, because it's going to be really good stuff coming up.
Absolutely. That will be on Rebels Racing Network on YouTube live. They will go live around 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll be able to see some of our qualifying laps, and then shortly after, you will be able to see the race, 250 laps. We will have stages, so there will be 2 stages that will kind of break up the race a little bit. So I am banking on trying to just stay at least 1 or 2 laps down before the stage comes out. Stage end comes out, that is. So, that'll do it for us here tonight. We want to thank Stitch and SKD for coming in as our guest and kind of giving us a look ahead for the Indy 500 miles at Indianapolis that ARCS is going to be putting on, and iRacing should be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here. So I am going to actually stay live. We'll put on a little bit of music. We'll have these cars in the background so you can kind of see the line that they're running and just kind of look at what iRacing has to offer. And we will stay live till right before 7:30, probably about 7:15, 7:20. And then we will get loaded in, do our practice, and then y'all can watch us. So that does it for us tonight. We will talk to y'all next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.